All right, everyone who just heard the intro, I just discovered that we had music and it's chill, as you can tell by the lovely and wonderful co-host Shannon. And uh, my apologies to Ralphie. I'm supposed to be playing Ralphie's music. I just can't figure out how to download it. And as soon as I do, we will have Ralphie's music as our intro music. Um, I can't. Oh, Ralph, if you ever start listening, just put in the chat what the name of your band is. I think it's like Angry Bots or something like that. It's something really cool, but I can't ever remember what it is. But welcome to Saturday morning, 9:05, 9:06, and we'll go 43 minutes. That is our goal. We have not
I think
attained it yet, but
we're gonna hit it today.
we're
We're gonna hit
going
it
to
today.
hit that goal, 43 minutes, and it's going to be the lovely Instagram influencer Shannon and myself, the non-influencer of anything. And since one of Shannon's topics, I just want to give a shout out. One of Shannon's topics is coffee. So I went to Stowaway to get a macchiato, and Stowaway is a little coffee shop across the street from me. If you're ever in Rhino, I would highly recommend that you go there. It was started by a guy from New Zealand and his wife, and he's fucking hilarious. Like he has no patience for anything. I love him so much, and he has a New Zealand accent, which does not hurt the process. But they have a really like eclectic. Like I got a mushroom tartan, vegan. I don't even know what that is, but it looked good, and I has mushrooms, and I was like, yes, please. And so I'll eat it later. But yeah, Stowaway. That's my shout out to Stowaway. Second shout out is to Underdog, who is the sponsor for Going for Two. So if you are a betting person, like I am, only on football, but bet wisely, go to Underdog. And if you've never been on Underdog before, use the promo GF2, and up to $100 they will match. So if you put 20 in, they're going to give you 20, and you'll have $40 to make money with, or lose lots of money.
Yes.
Yes.
Make
So
money with.
make money with. So highly advise it. Good morning, Shannon. How are you? I'm done.
Good morning.
And Shannon has coffee.
Yeah, I had coffee. I had a late night last night, so
Ooh, please. More, please. More info, please.
a friend of mine is going through a breakup, and
Oh,
she texted me what I would consider early in the night. She texted me about 7 or 8. It's like, "Hey, are you out tonight?" And I just said, "I can be." And so I was like, "Are you wanting to dance?" And she said, "Yeah." I said,
oh,
"I'm there. Be there soon."
you're the best friend.
I don't know about that. I just love dancing. I might be addicted to it.
What's up, Jamie? What's up, Jesse? What's up, Terry? How are you guys doing this morning? I appreciate all of you from joining. And yes, Jesse, I am a sucker for accents. I'm not going to lie. Everyone knows it. I swear to God, this guy was 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm walking the dogs. No, it wasn't one. It had to be like 11 or 12. Walking the dogs, and this guy with an Australian accent's on a bike, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where such and such is?" And I'm like, "No, but you can keep talking and tell me how to get there." And he's like, "Well, so my hostel's there." And it's like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I've never heard of this place, but tell me more. Maybe I can help you find it." Yeah, just
I'll
keep
follow
talking.
you wherever you go.
Well, I would, but I was with Jackie, and Jackie's like, "I'm done with this. Accents do nothing for me. Let's go home." Like, dog, come on. It's not your. That's
We're
not
on
your
the same
purpose.
team,
We're,
dog.
come on. His hostel might have a yard. What are you doing? But no,
Yeah.
it didn't happen for me. So whatever. Um, okay. So is she okay now? Was it a bad breakup? Like, was she for a long, long time with this person?
Yeah, they've been together for quite a time. I
Uh,
think minimum 5 years, and
mm.
everything's like 50-50 to include their dog. And I think it might end up being fairly contentious, which is
Oh.
unfortunate. Um,
Oh, wait, they're married?
no, they're not married. They've just
Oh,
been together for quite a while.
okay.
But he's wanting to move back to the Midwest.
Oh,
And,
why?
you know, I don't know.
Midwest?
Couldn't tell
Like,
you.
are we talking like Iowa?
Like
Nothing
St.
against anyone
Louis.
in Iowa, but St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Uh,
Um,
Terry,
he's
no one cares.
he seems, from what I know, I don't know this guy.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm on her team,
Yeah,
so
your
I've
team
never
her.
liked this guy since they
Good.
broke up.
All right.
But from here tell, he's just kind of like a basement dweller, like just doesn't no
Uh,
motivation, hasn't changed, hasn't grown, and it's just time.
I saw a rom com about that. God, I need to
Yeah.
stop watching rom coms. I've seen
Why?
every rom com. I know exactly. There's no reason. I've seen every rom com on Netflix. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was looking through it, and I'm like, there is a new one on there, which will be part of our conversation in a minute. But I'm looking, and I'm like, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. I've seen that one.
Have you watched the one where you get to like choose for the lady?
I could not get into that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it and I started to watch it and I'm like, no. And you know what? Gross, you lose dog right. Yeah, exactly. You lose dog. I think, and this is like probably the girl in me, but I don't think guys should get dog rights anyway, because guys aren't really great with dogs, except for Shannon. And Shannon's like, tell your friend to run.
You know, whenever my significant other and I make jokes about drawing up papers, mainly it's me. She's like, "Well, just know that the dogs come with me," and I'm like, "Do they?"
Will they though?
They
Will
do, I think, because her name's on the adoption papers.
Oh, damn.
However, possession.
Miscalculation.
Yeah.
Like one under each arm running down the road.
No, the older one, he's hers. I've given up on him. I love him. He's been a great dog.
Oh my God.
I need him to all dogs go to heaven quick.
Oh my God. Okay. Now we're gonna just like slowly go into what we're gonna talk about because that's just wrong. Wrong on every inch of the thing. Hey, thanks for a Facebook user who I'm assuming is Jay, but it might not be. All you guys watching need to slam the like button and subscribe if you want to. But most of you, I send a thing in the morning to, so you don't have to subscribe because you get the link in the morning. And I'm just telling you now, every link's gonna have a dog on it. I just decided that's my favorite thing in the world, like crazy dog pictures and dog with coffee because we're talking about coffee today. But before we start, and I want everyone to participate in this, the best thing that you saw this week, Shannon. Oh, before we do that, I tried to watch your show. I think because I don't know Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't totally. I couldn't get it. Like 5 minutes, I was like, I'm out. I can't. What? I don't understand. They said they're Jedi's. I thought Jedi's were good people. They're killing people. Oh, spoiler alert. Whatever. And then Rosemary Dawson's character comes on, and then she goes down. She comes up, kills all these guys, gets on the. I'm like, I'm out. I don't know, but she does look good, Rosario. But when doesn't she?
Yeah,
you know,
when doesn't she?
You know my
Is a great
favorite
question.
thing about her, and this is really sad, but my favorite thing about her is that she was in a long-term relationship with the guy from Sex and the City, whose name I cannot remember right now. He was also in Midnight Texas. He was the gay bad angel in Midnight Texas. No, he was the gay good angel in Midnight Texas. The
I've
one
never
that's
seen Midnight Texas.
the one that Samantha loves with the hair.
Mr. Big?
No, Samantha, not Carrie. Samantha.
No idea.
Have you ever seen Sex and the City?
I mean, yes.
Well, it's
from the other room.
Jason. She calls him. Is Jason his real name? Terry, you know who I'm talking about. The guy from Midnight Texas, the angel, blonde hair. Also, the hot guy in Sex and the City, the first Sex and the City, that Samantha picks up. He was a waiter, and then she makes him this big star. Now I have to watch it again because it's so hot. Okay, anyway. All right. So Shannon, best thing you saw all week, or the worst? I'm fluid. I can do either.
I did go see the movie Dumb Money last night.
Dude, you in movie theaters?
It's a once a week thing. It's called a hobby. I don't know how better to describe it to people. They're like, because one of my go-to questions is like, what are your hobbies? Because I don't care what you do for work.
Yeah.
I don't care how you operate in this system we've got going on. You give away your time so we can consume things. What do I care about that? I want to know what you do with the time that you have to yourself. And one of mine is movie theaters. So we went to go see Dumb Money, which I think it was kind of trying to be like a
yes, Jason Lewis,
Big Short movie, like The Big Short. Have you seen that?
Is that John Travolta?
No, that's Get Shorty. The Big Short was that one that came out a few years ago that was talking about the 2008 financial.
Oh yeah, no, I never
crisis.
saw it. I know what movie you're talking about.
You've never seen it? I would highly suggest.
Like, yes,
I think it's on YouTube for free right now. So there's that movie.
It's like a documentary.
It's not.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said YouTube.
The Big Short is not like it's like a documentary, but it's a movie. And it's really well done. The Big Short and Margin Call. those two movies go really well together. Margin Call is this kind of the same. It's touching the same subject, but like basically the night before, and it's
Okay.
very good. I've probably watched it 4 times this year, honestly.
So what is the movie with Leonardo that?
Don't Look Up, same
Oh,
director.
okay, that was my thinking, but we'll go with that.
Adam McKay, I think it is.
All right.
But went to go see this movie called Dumb Money, which is all about the GameStop stonks.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was
Okay,
like
so
right at the end of COVID, and everyone that I conversed with on kind of on Twitter were like crazy about this.
yeah, so this movie is just talking about that. It's kind of, I mean, it's more so focused on the main guy, the guy that like, was driving up the stock essentially
Right.
on Wall Street Bets. It was fun. It wasn't great, but it was fun. And I mean, there's like little details that like maybe some people don't know or whatever. And it was really just interesting just because like internet humor is so, it's not niche because it's so prevalent.
Mhm.
However, to persons who maybe are layman to Reddit and some of the other, internet forums, it probably seems like, whoa, why are they saying things like this? Why are they calling themselves this? Why are they doing this or whatever? And it doesn't make sense. And it didn't make sense at the time, however, I guess to some people. So the movie was fun. So, and then the second best thing I've seen, real quick, is I'm leash training with my dog. I've been doing it pretty consistently.
The old one?
No, the younger one.
How old is the younger one?
6.
Okay.
Well, like he's like good he's like fine on a leash, but he tugs a little bit too much. So I've been training him with that a good bit more and like really gotten consistent with it. And the best thing I've seen is his improvement.
Aw.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, this has nothing to do with the best things I've seen, but I've had 3 like interactions with the crazy devil dog and people in this building. And she's crazy, I know. She's 8 months old. She's crazy. I'm trying to train her. We're getting there, but she still has this really instinctual thing to attack people that talk to me.
Don't look at my mom.
Exactly is what it is. So the first one, she like nipped at this lady, and the guy's first response was, "You need to get rid of that dog." Second one, she actually got skin. Like she actually got skin. Different person. His response was, "She needs to be trained." You think? Third one didn't even like. We were running down the stairs because that's what we do. Because I need to get stair work in. And the girl was coming out of the room, and then she was like, they both scared each other. You know what I mean? Because no one expects, a dog and a person around you. And her response was, "Hey, I know this feline away, and you can give it to her, and it'll calm her down." Which at the time I was thinking, because actually Missy was like just sitting behind me, calm. I'm like, is she the one that needs it, or are you the one that needs this?
Yeah.
And then I was like, is this just for cats? And she's like, no, it's for all pets. And I'm looking it up, and it's all cats. So I'm like, I don't know if, like, I just ran into, which made me think of it, the guy that told me I needed to give her away. Because I wrote a note to him after. I'm like, hey, she's 8 months old. She's getting trained. Chill the fuck out. And I put it on his door. Him and his girl never said anything to me about it afterwards. And I just ran into him as I'm coming in with my coffee from Stowaway. And he's like, nothing ever happened. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, ugh. I just got in the elevator. You can't, after you tell me to get rid of my dog, you're going to like, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Ugh. Okay, but the best thing I saw, okay, there are 2 best things I saw. Actually 3. One of them, have you seen White Lotus?
No, I didn't watch it.
Terry sent me, okay, it doesn't matter. You need to go on YouTube, and SNL does a thing called Black Lotus. It's so all people, and the thing, like the people that are running the hotel, or not running the hotel, but like they're black. And it's absolutely like, Terry didn't see White Lotus, and she, like, if you watch it, you kind of understand what's happening in White Lotus, but it's absolutely friggin' hilarious. It's called Black Lotus from SNL, and if you've seen White Lotus, it's that much funnier, I think, because you're like, oh my god, I know what she's doing. But even if you don't, the characters on there are just, because basically the premise of White Lotus is these rich people going to these like really swanky hotels, and they get away with all this shit because they're rich. And in Black Lotus, they get away with nothing. It's like they get away with nothing. And then
Wait,
Uh,
so it's just black people traveling internationally? Is that what
no,
you're?
no,
Is that
it's
what it
not.
is?
The black people aren't traveling. The black people
No.
are the hotel. They're the
Yeah.
ones like the concierge and
Oh, okay.
the yeah. It's still the white people traveling, and they
Oh,
still
okay.
want the things they wanted in White Lotus. They're just not. Well, one of them is the guy Michael. Oh, he always plays a gangster, but in this one, him and his son go to Italy, and these two whores. He gives them the key to their room, like, and he no one says anything about it. And Black Lotus, like, uh, what is his name? I don't know. The black guy is like, you realize if you give him the key to your room, and he's like yelling this, like, because they're like, hey, he wants to give the key to the two whores, like across the lobby. And he goes, you
Yeah.
realize if you give them the key to your room, they can charge anything. And he's like, yeah, yeah. And he goes, oh, so you're that kind of rich. You're that rich, rich. And the girls actually do in White Lotus. They just like take advantage, but whatever. They jip him out of like 50 hits. They have sex with him and his son. And and yeah. And
Maybe I'm gonna watch White Lotus.
oh, it's a lot of sex. There's a lot, especially in the second one. It's a lot of sex. And the guy from the Divergent series, the second hot one, the one that Nine, I think his name is,
Okay.
he's in it, and he's a dick, but he's a super hot dick.
There's
And
some shows. There's some shows that I just like. I just don't know that I'm ever watching. Like I don't
yes,
think I'm.
Michael Imperial. That's who it is.
What?
That's
Oh,
the
Michael
guy
Imperial.
that has the two horses.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know because like I know people in my house have watched White Lotus, and I've seen scenes, but I'm like, maybe.
Well, I mean, the first one, and Keenan Thompson is the concierge guy. Wow, you guys are so helpful this morning. The first one was okay. Like the first one was okay. The second one I thought was better because I thought it was more you're not sure what's going to happen. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
first one, it was kind of predictable. I mean, the guy's a dick, and concierge, the concierge this guy just like totally goes off the deep end because this guy, he's like an addict anyway, and then the guy starts needling him about a room that he should have because there's like one little difference in his because he has all this money, and the guy starts doing blow off, like he starts the cute boys that are there. He has them in his room. He starts doing blow off their dicks, and he starts doing blow off their stomach, and the guy comes in and sees him, and so he goes more off the deep end. It's just ridiculous. But the second one's better. There's no one
Okay.
doing blow off someone. I don't remember. I don't think. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, but it's it's still good. And the second thing I saw is I rewatched Hamilton, which I don't care how many times I see it. It is like the best thing ever. Still on Disney. It's like I love musicals
I did too.
across the board. And Hamilton, it's not even just the fact that you have this multiracial cast playing what was non-multiracial. It's that when you think about how he read this book and then he just decided to write this enormously great play and music from it, and it all came together. It's
Yeah.
just it's like I watch it and I'm like, he's so brilliant, and he is Lin Manuel Miranda or Lin Miranda
Mm-hmm.
Manuel, and I just like the guy who plays Aaron Burr, the guy who's narrating it, is spectacular. All his scenes, all his songs, the room where it happened, he just nails it. It's just one of the greatest thing. Um, yeah, that's one of the like. There's a Hispanic girl, and the guy's like, "I want this room," and he pokes Keenan, and she jumps over the thing and she slaps him. It's like, "Oh no, honey, you're not gonna talk to him like that." It's like that never happened in White Lotus. They're like, he's like, "Okay, sir, you can have that." Yeah, I'm like, Keenan's like, "Yeah, you heard her." It's you've got to see it. YouTube, Black Lotus, do it.
I'll
SNL.
check it. I'll check it out.
SNL, like I mean, I don't watch it anymore because I don't think it is as funny as it used to be. But
Mm-hmm.
they do have like every now and then they come up with a skit that's just miraculously good.
Yeah, I was never a big fan. Skits. I think skit shows are pretty hard for me. I don't really usually. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not usually into them. I think You Should Leave is like the first one that I've actually like watched. That's the one that actually gets me
Well,
going a
you
little
can
bit.
sit through a movie.
Yeah, I can sit through a movie, but skit shows like most of the time I'm like, oh, this isn't really that funny.
Uh,
Like I've never been an SNL watcher, and like it's almost funnier to me to have people tell me about it than to
To
see how
actually watch it.
excited they are than to watch
Oh,
it. Like,
I was
and
very
it's kind of like Family Guy's that way. Like I'm like, Family Guy was never that funny to me. So like when people tell me about it, I'm like, that sounds funny. I'll just never watch it now. It's great.
I've never watched Family Guy, although I am a fan of Stewie. Like
Yeah.
but I've never watched Family Guy.
Just an example there for you.
Yeah, thanks. All right, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about shit I don't know anything about.
Sweet. That's my favorite thing.
So the first one I think will be pretty brief. The second one I have some real thoughts on. I know a little bit about this. The first being artificial intelligence. It's very wild. Like we're getting into like a very interesting time in our history of being humans where, there's machine learning and there's artificial intelligence. And like artificial intelligence, we haven't really grasped on, but we have machine learning. And I think the irritant for me is people are like the artificial intelligence stuff or the machine learning stuff, like doing art, like
Right.
That irritates me because I'm just like, we're all working and then we're having machines create art. Like, I guess there's like a Drake song that came out recently that wasn't Drake, but it was all artificial intelligence to sound like Drake.
Is that legal?
I'm sorry?
Is that legal?
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been enough regulation or rules to like keep things like this from happening yet.
Okay. Well, okay.
And again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I have seen Terminator 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and however many others they made.
The Sarah Connor one?
The Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yeah.
Yes. So I've seen all those things and I'm like, well, I think James Cameron had an idea of what he was talking about when he made Terminator 2 and Terminator 1. Yeah, I don't know that this is like, it's very interesting because the idea that we're pushing this thing forward that we don't have a grasp on, which is I guess how a lot of technology works anyway. But I'm just like, could this be bad? Could it be good? I'm okay with robots mowing my lawn. I don't want them designing the landscape. That's for humans to do. But mowing my lawn,
as a writer, it bothers me that now on on social platforms that I do for people, like one of the first questions is, "Hey, do you want the AI to figure out this?" I'm like, that's kind of taking my job away. Like if I could put like 4 words in and the AI comes out with this great monologue or this great, intro and this great sentence, why am I here? Why do I? So I don't even want an AI mowing my lawn. If I had a lawn, I don't want an AI doing. I understand that AI, from the little bit that I understand about AI, could have some benefits, like especially in the medical field. But for it to want to write my story for me, I mean that's just lazy.
Yeah.
And that's just
no, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's just giving people just one more reason not to walk. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's grab a scooter and ride 2 blocks. Drives me crazy. Get off the fucking scooter and walk. All right, it's 2 blocks, and you're not even supposed to be on the sidewalk on it. It says clearly on the back, "Do not ride on sidewalk."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You think these people can read?
There was like, I don't know what's going on down in my area here, Rhino, but there was like groups of people yesterday. Like it's usually busy on the weekend, like 2 or 3, 1 or 2 coming in waves. This was like groups of like 8 and 10 people on scooters in waves, and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to get there in time." And I didn't even want to know where they're going to get in time or why. And to me, that's AI. It's like, just give me one more excuse so I don't have to think or do something on my own.
Yeah, and
I've never seen Wall-E, Terry. Sorry.
It's on Disney Plus. I think too that, and not that I write, but when I do write, it's in my voice. It's very much like how I speak is how I write, and which good or bad with that because it could be curse laden, but like I just don't want something to fill in the gaps, right? Like
Right.
I have spell check, great.
Grammarly.
I have friends that I can send things to edit for me, and like by all means, like if the AI can like spell check for me, great, sure. But I don't want it to write for me by no means. Like again, art is for people. Like we shouldn't be, you know, having a robot do art. That makes no sense to me. Like I'm just like it's pretty senseless. Plus, and like we haven't like again, this is machine learning, so I guess there's delineation there or whatever. But like true artificial intelligence, I mean, there's always like you see, I've seen plenty of like sci-fi Reddit or whatever where, you know, there's some point where like this artificial intelligence could be like, could we consider it a consciousness or like a sentient thing? And so then if we're using it to do stuff like mow our lawns, are we then creating this thing where it's like it could be free, however it's not? What a weird conundrum to be in, you know, like a philosophical, like, I don't know, maybe this thing doesn't want to mow my lawn. Maybe it wants to just think all the time, you know, and I'm having it run squares in my front lawn or on 15 acres somewhere, you know.
What up, Lee Patterson?
So it's just, again, I know very little about this. I just don't like that part of what's happening.
I have seen iRobot.
Yeah, because Will Smith's in it.
Yeah, duh.
And Shia LaBeouf.
And who?
And Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, was it a wait? I don't remember. Oh, he was a young Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, yeah.
It was before. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
I realize he's got some problematic things, but I'm a Shia fan, and I have been since I was a kid.
I like Shia LaBeouf's movies. I mean, yeah, he does have, or if what we read is true, he does have some problematic issues. But I think he's a great actor, a good actor. Like, what is the one where he plays his? Is that Shia LaBeouf or is that the other kid? No, Shia LaBeouf. Where he plays his brother, the twin, and that's AI. Michelle Monaghan is I think the mother in it, and it's an artificial intelligence has taken over, and it's what is the name of that movie? And it's telling him,
oh, Eagle Eye.
Yeah, I love that movie. I might watch
That's
that
a fun movie.
That might be the thing I do today.
That's definitely a rewatcher.
Yeah, that is a rewatcher. Lee Patterson, thanks. We got it. I use Grammarly. So here's the thing. I use Grammarly. Grammarly is AI. It's like, hey, you need a comma here. Hey, sometimes it tries to write for you, like, hey, would this sentence be better if it was like this? Mm-hmm. But Grammarly is like, I write sports, and Grammarly isn't like, it doesn't have, oh, this is a sports article, or this is a romantic article, or it's a business thing. So a lot of it isn't applicable to, like, I'm like, no, that doesn't, that's not like it. On a lot of my sentences, I'm like, seriously, this is happening. And Grammarly's like, do you really need the word seriously in there? And I'm like, yes, I really need the word seriously in there. And it's always like elliptic. I always do elliptic all the time. And it's always like, do you really need those? Yeah, I really need those because I need them. My thought process is not complete and I need them. So yeah, it totally tries to rewrite sentence. I think it would be better if you took out the word no. Yeah, I think it would change the whole sentence.
And again, like I write like I talk, so I put a lot of like Southernisms in there, and then like I'll say "ol" and any number of things, over yonder and such. And so when you write like you talk, like it genuinely.
Do you actually use the word over? Have you actually used the word over yonder in the last week?
In the last week?
Yeah.
Maybe not over yonder, but yonder.
What is yonder?
Yonder's like that way.
Okay.
Yonder way.
Yonder way. Okay.
You know, it's a ways. It's yonder ways.
Of course. I don't even know why I didn't see that before.
Well, it's funny too, because like sometimes I feel like I have an accent. I'm pretty positive that I do have an accent, and some people hear it, some people don't.
I
And
don't.
I'll say something, and I kind of get these looks like, "What are you saying?" And I'm just like,
Over yonder
naked as
is
a
further
jaybird,
that way.
naked as a jaybird,
Okay, that I've heard.
NEKKID jaybird.
I just yonder, you and Lee with your yonders. I don't think anyone's ever said to me, "Hey, I'm going over yonder." I'm like, or yonder, if I ask for directions, yonder.
Yonder way.
I would still be standing there going, does it mean? Unless, of course, they had an accent.
You're right. I don't know that it's helpful.
Maybe it wasn't designed to be helpful. I'm going to say.
But yeah, so writing like you talk, sometimes, whatever you're typing on is like, I don't think these are words.
Like, Grammarly's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
So it's really pretty funny, in that way.
The AI.
All right. So that's what I know. That's what I don't know and know about AI. I mean, I might know a little bit more. I might know a little less. But I know I don't want it creating art.
I just know I want Grammarly to understand. I would think if it's like artificial intelligence, like as much as I write, that after a while it would go, okay, that's how she's going to do it. You know what I mean? It's not an evolving artificial intelligence. It's the same thing. So
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, make it an evolving artificial intelligence so it understands what I'm doing. Although that gets kind of scary because then it's probably going to be able to like take over and just write for me because it's like, oh, this is what she meant.
Yeah. Be able to write in your voice.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, Grammarly, stick where you are. Stick to your lane.
I will say, at least with iOS, like on our iPhones, I do appreciate that eventually it catches on that I'm like saying certain words. Like I never write out, like I'm like writing out bitchin', and it's not trying to change it to bitching, So I appreciate that. I like
that. Okay. I appreciate it that it knows curse words and it lets me use them.
Absolutely.
Although, if you go to images like fuck, there's no image for that. Like I tried to send something to Terry, and I put the word fuck in, and it's like there's no image for that. I'm like, okay.
Well, just you wait. I'll give you one.
You want an image for that? I will show you an image for that, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
I can segue real quick. So
okay.
I am a funkle, and it's a fun
What's a funkle?
It's a
fun uncle.
Yeah.
You're a fun uncle.
Yeah. And
I could see that.
Years ago, my sister was telling me that the boys came in, heard her sons, my nephews, and she heard one of them just say, "Shut the fuck up." And they were probably like 7, 8, or 9, 8, or something like that. And she's like telling them why they shouldn't say that. And they're like, "Well, what is fuck?" And she's like, "How do you tell a 7-year-old what fuck is?"
It's what got you here, buddy.
There's something that happened.
Yeah.
And that's how you exist as a human.
It's a verb. That's all you need.
So I'm drinking out of my Funkle coffee mug today, which is our next subject, not being a Funkle, but coffee. So this is something that I didn't realize. And you know what? It's talked about in movies. It's talked about in shows. And I guess I didn't realize like it was actually going to be a thing.
No one needs to know that, Terry.
There was going to actually be a thing in my real life, how bad coffee is at your workplaces and places you spend time at in most cases. And
wait, what do you mean places you spend time at if it's not your work?
So like for me, like at school, like I'm at school,
right?
I'm at work.
Okay.
And the places I've worked since moving to Denver, the coffee is just atrocious. Like, I just don't understand, why do workplaces not think like, oh, if we invested in really good coffee, our employees might not leave the building more. Like, we could get more out of them. We could wring more time out of them if we just have really good coffee. If we invest $5,000 in an incredible like espresso machine foamer, all the stuff you need to make good coffee at work. You then get your employees there a little longer, and they have good product to drink. And your
Is
employees,
good coffee subjective? That would be
is
my
it
first question.
subjective?
Is good coffee is what is good coffee subjective?
Oh, I mean, everybody's got different taste buds, so absolutely. However,
Okay.
give the people the ability to make whatever kind of coffee they want to
Ah,
make,
I see what you're
like
saying.
a pour over,
Right.
a drip, all the options. Spend $5,000 on giving everything you can to your employees so that they can make whatever kind of coffee they want to make. And not so, and I'm kind of joking about them being there longer, but genuinely in the idea that, like, oh, most everyone drinks coffee or tea, and then you're able to have that one small thing that doesn't really cost much. Like, let's just say $5,000 for the initial investment, maybe less,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're buying good coffee
Right.
every month, right?
Right.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm not going to come off this hill. It's a new thing that I've thought of, and I'm going to not come off this for quite a while,
Is this
because
the hill you're
the
going to
place
die on?
I the place I used to work,
Mm-hmm.
we had incredible coffee. We had different ways to make it with instructions, how to do everything. And like, people, it was serious business around there, and the coffee was great. And then I moved here, and I work for places that, like, we take pride in our work, and we're so happy, about whatever we're doing. And I'm like, are you sure? Because this coffee sucks. This is what you're offering us at 4 o'clock in the morning? Is this drool? Drool? We're drinking tar over here, and you want me to get to work? Get real.
Um. Okay. So, morning, Kyle. Terry wants to know who would maintain it, and she says they don't even clean the microwaves.
Okay, so this is fun, because I've come across this. I've crossed this bridge. You put up signs, and our world is filled with signs. And I know that seems ridiculous, but that's step one. The other thing you do is you actually actively shame people. So you shame them for not following directions on how to make the coffee, or not cleaning up after themselves. And I mean, you really might have to do some investigatory work here to do so. That said, it is worth the time. Promise. I've seen it work. I've seen it in action. And, like, sometimes maybe you shame people enough that, like, maybe they don't make good coffee for themselves anymore, but that's okay. We
Because you can still do it. Exactly.
Yes.
I, I, I mean, yeah, I see your point. Like, it's really weird that I worked in a restaurant and everyone went down the street to get coffee. Like, no one
Yes.
drank the coffee in the restaurant. And I'm not saying that I didn't charge people who wanted the coffee, but it might not have happened because the coffee was so bad, unless you're European, and then they really kind of liked it. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's really weird. You work in a restaurant and you go to the 3 coffee places around you to get coffee and pay for it,
Yeah.
mind you, because they're not giving it to you for free. And I wonder if they get. So, do you think they get good coffee? Like, if you
Do
worked
they
in,
get good coffee?
like, can they make their own coffee when they're there?
I have to imagine some places, if not, like, it's highly discounted.
Okay. Um, yeah. So, like I said, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I don't know why in a place that in a restaurant, I would think that you would want to invest in, even if your employees are going to drink it, they're still going to, like, oh, hey, I'm going to charge you $5 for this cup because it's really good coffee. Instead
Yeah.
of going, our coffee's shit, and there are 3 other restaurants. There are 3 coffee places within walking distance, and you could just go and get a really good cup of coffee, and probably pay $5, and it's better. Yeah, I
And
don't understand that.
for the majority, most people drink coffee, and if they don't, they drink tea, most likely. And you can still make those things with the tools you have there for the coffee. And so it's just one of those things that I think is important. And I think wherever my next adventures take me, I'm going to
Make sure.
encourage this.
Encourage
Because
the
like
coffee.
I make my own coffee. That I
Do you have an espresso?
I'm sorry.
Do you have an espresso machine at your house?
No, I drink cold brew.
Oh.
So I make cold brew for myself. It's like I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever heard of this. It's like I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's like cocaine, but like in liquid form.
I've had cold brew. I don't like cold brew. I like my coffee hot.
It gets you going. Cold brew is it's a
I had cold brew at the farmer's market, and I didn't know I was doing. When I ordered, I didn't realize that I was at a cold brew place. You know what I mean? Like that's all they did.
Yeah.
And then when she gave it to me, I was like, okay. And maybe I don't know. It's cold brew. I was like, it's cold coffee. Of course, I went like drank it, and it's Canadian humor. I don't know. Kyle's Canadian. It's like and got hot coffee. I don't. To me, when I think of coffee, I think hot. That's just the whole thing.
That's
I
fair.
understand the cold brew. I understand the cold brew, and it was good. It was tasty. Did it have more? Does it have more caffeine?
Yeah, it's more. It's like a concentrate.
Oh,
So it's like a real punch. Really gets you going. And I mean, I drink coffee for multiple reasons. One, because I like it. Two,
I love coffee.
Two, for like the little bit of caffeine boost. Nostalgia and caffeine, number one drugs in the world.
You know what? I can drink coffee and go to bed. Like I can drink coffee and it doesn't mentally. I like it because when I smell the coffee, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this and that. But if I'm tired, I'm like, I can drink a cup of coffee and be like, see ya. But
I
naps are
don't
really
really,
important to me, so I can
yeah, I
fall
don't really
asleep and
drink a
work.
lot of caffeine after a certain time, just in
Oh,
case.
yeah, no, I drink it all the time. I'm not
Depending on the day. If it's a
Yeah.
school night,
All right. So we have 40 minutes to talk about CU and Oregon. Or what was the other sports one? CU, Oregon. Oh, Denver sucks. Okay, here's my one. I only have one thing to say about Denver. Nathaniel Hackett, probably not a great head coach, but he was 1-1. Sean Payton, who they gave up the farm literally for, is 0-2. That's all I have to say about the whole Denver situation.
but weren't those Broncos games? What were the scores in those?
Does it matter? A loss is a loss. I don't care. There are no moral victories in sports. If you lose, you lose. I don't know what the scores are.
I don't know that I would argue that. However, it is early season, and I think I turned on the NFL. I did turn on the NFL week 1, and it's crazy how bad the first few games of the season are. I think for most everyone, because like they've been playing, they've been practicing and they played a few games. I'm sure, like whatever, like teams come to town, they play or whatever. But like the game speed just isn't the same, I don't think. And so I always think the first couple weeks of the NFL are pretty ugly because I'm just
okay. I'm okay with that thought. I agree. Once they shorten preseason, hardly any of the starters play, and it takes them like 3 games to get up. But that's everyone. There are teams that are now 3-0. So yeah, that's fine. You can say that. San Francisco, 3-0. Who's the other team that's 3-0? Somebody else. No, 2-0. Or 2-0. There are teams that are 2-0. San Francisco's the only team. I think that you can use that as an excuse if, like, say, the Raiders, who Denver lost to, played 5 preseason games and Denver only played 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they all played the same amount of preseason games. Whether or not you play your starters, that's on you, right?
Yeah.
Like Pittsburgh, for instance. Pittsburgh played their starters in preseason. Everyone was like, oh my God, they're going to be so good. They're going to have such a great offense. Then they get the shit kicked out of them in the first game by San Francisco, who didn't play their starters preseason. So, I mean, I don't know.
I hesitate, and and this starts with the NFL pretty early, like a few weeks ago. But and like even with the NBA, there's like some stories coming up. I'm just always kind of like, nobody's in the swing of things yet. Like we're gonna give this.
I'll get to it.
Yeah, because like even with, and to touch on Prime's team in old Colorado, like
Woo-hoo.
This is all exciting. This is all very exciting
until today.
No, and it still might be exciting. Who can say? I mean, they haven't played yet,
right?
But genuinely, like, this is how it goes every college season. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, to the moon. And then, you know what? Maybe something falls off a little bit, but it's fun. And like, but the early season is just like, let's give it some time. I'm a let's wait and see kind of person with the stuff.
See, I'm not. I mean, I would think again, if there was like a discrepancy between how many games you play before you get to it, I would be a wait and see. Oh, they played like 6 games and they've only played 2, so they're getting used to it. No, that's not the case. So they all played the same amount. They all had the same amount
of preparation time.
How they used it, that's on them, right? So I mean, in prime, I'm the fact that they're what are they 3-0? No, 2-0, 3. I don't know. Whatever. They're way ahead of what they were last year. So
yeah,
even if they lose today, they're still way ahead of what they were last year.
And they're losing to what seems like a good team.
Yeah, Oregon is supposed to be, pretty good.
And if you're going to lose, get it out early in the college season. Get it out early now.
Exactly. Which reminds me, the college game day shows, like Fox isn't called College Game Day; it's called Big Something. If anyone knows what happened to Reggie Bush, I would like to know that because Mark Ingram is on there again, and I'm befuddled because my morning coffee and sit down and it's like Reggie Bush. Oh shit! The kid from Notre Dame, the other kid from USC, and it's just a pretty. Not that Mark Ingram's good looking. He's just not Reggie Bush.
Yeah, I was trying to tell one of my friends at school who 20 the other day who Reggie Bush was, and I was like, he was like the first athlete that Kim K dated. Does that help?
Yeah. Did it help?
I was like, does that help at all? And she was like, no. And I was like, that's the best I can do for you. That's as far as I can get to try to connect the dots for you. He was the first athlete that I think Kim K dated.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know. She's the first prominent athlete that she dated.
Yeah.
The first big athlete that she dated. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, so if anyone knows where he is, if he's on TV on Saturday on a game show, I would like to know that. Kim Kardashian, I don't think Kyle knows who Kim K is. Kim Kardashian, Kyle. You guys they have to have Kardashians in Canada, right?
I apologize for saying Kim K. I meant Kim Kardashian. My bad for the shorthand. I thought this was an internet show.
Okay, so
I think that's our time.
Yeah, I think it is. No, Kyle's like he said he's just messing around with you. I think that would be.
Is Kim K like Mary Kay's sister? Is that like not a makeup brand, but like
he's the one that made her famous, right? Oh no, she
Ray
was
J
famous.
Made her famous.
Ray J made her famous.
Her mom made her famous by releasing that tape.
Oh my God! Mother of the Year, honey. We need more lighting in your sex tape before we release it. What the fuck? When I heard that, I was like, that cannot be a thing. Her mother. Oh, Mom of the Year. Oh, Mom of the Year. You've done so well with your daughters.
I mean, they have. They're billionaires. Great. Cool.
I would not want to be in any of their headspaces. Any of their headspaces. At any time, during any part of any day, it's got to be like, I can't. My mom released a sex tape that made me famous. That's what vaulted me into stardom. Ray J doing me. And it was Ray J. It wasn't even a good, I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, if I'm being honest, would I let Ray J put it in my butt so I could make money? I would.
So I could make money.
I would.
Not gonna lie. Oh my God. Okay. And on that, I think we're gonna have to end. Oh my God. Leah's right. Grammarly would have fixed that Kim K cop for you. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us on. Oh my God, we're so close. We're getting so close to our 43 minutes.
We almost had it.
We almost did. What for the Kim Kardashian? We would have had it Kardashians fuck things up again. Family. Ah, thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning before the college. And I'm really serious about the Reggie Bush thing. If anyone knows where he is, please let me know so I can watch that show. Um, and um, Kyle, appreciate your Canadianness and always. Terry, love ya. Jesse, love ya. Oh, I wanted to show people this. Jesse made this for me. It says, "My dog and I talk shit about you." This is my favorite coffee cup ever. Jesse Patterson made this for me. It's so wonderful. Tell me it's not wonderful.
I would never tell you it's not wonderful.
Look at that. And it has dog paws on the back.
Wow.
I know, right?
Incredible stuff.
Okay. Jamie, if you're still here, I thank you for joining for the brief time. And we will see you guys next Saturday at 9:05 in the morning with more discussion. If you guys have something you want us to talk about, you can Instagram the Instagram influencer. That would be Shannon. What is your Instagram thing handle? We have it?
At Americana_Allen.
Butt money.
That Ray J money.
The Ray J money.
I mean, genuinely. I would do it. And if I didn't have to work anymore because somebody put it in my butt, believe me, I wouldn't care. And like, no one's believing you. Like, oh, why do you not work anymore? I let this dude put it in my butt. Okay, you don't have to tell me. You really don't have to tell me. And I'm like, I did. I told you. They put it in my butt. I don't work.
Oh my.
No one's believing that.
So anyway, I know, right, Terry? That is nice by Jesse. Thanks, Jesse. I'm forgetting someone. I don't know who it is because I'm forgetting them. That's the sad part of my brain. Oh, the Facebook user who I think is Jay, but I could be wrong. But I think it is Jay. Facebook user. If you guys are on Twitter and you were sending in like comments, we don't get them. I should have told you that ahead of time, but I forgot. There was a lot going on in my head this morning because take my dogs out 4 o'clock in the morning because that's when Devil Dog wakes up. Come in, take him out again 8 o'clock. There's some kind of bike thing going on, so there's traffic. Come back in, Devil Dog shits on the floor. No kidding. Like, we just came in. I'm like, are you kidding me, dog? We just came in from being outside. Ugh. Okay, that was my morning. And then I went and got coffee.
I had nothing going in my morning because I just woke up a few minutes before this because I was out until 2 o'clock.
Yeah, but you were out being a good friend, so it's
or
okay.
Dancing. I don't know.
You were out dancing, being a good friend, dancing. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I appreciate each and every one of you that listened and watched and joined in when the chat. We love you when you join in the chat. It helps a lot. Probably prolongs our 43 minutes, but that's okay. That's all right. That's why we have 43 minutes, so we're out on time. If the butt money, don't worry about it. He'll be here next week. I'm not saying
unless the right person is watching. You are.
And if he's not, you know why. You'll know why he's not here.
There will be signs.
There will be signs. Hey, Kelly Schmidt is sick with the flu. Kelly, if you're listening, get better soon. He's a good friend, but he was also my farmer's market person last week. Wait, does that mean I'm going to be sick? I hope not. All right. So everyone, we will talk to you soon. Love all of you. Some of you more than others.